Grace and peace to you, beloved of St. Luke. In the New York Times article this past April, organizational psychologist Adam Grant identified the common dominant emotion of 2021 as languishing. He went on to describe this unfortunate state in a variety of ways: a sense of emptiness, despondency, a lack of hope, aimlessness, and joylessness, the dulling of delight, and the dwindling of desire. At around the same time, researchers noted that roughly 60% of Americans are experiencing pandemic-related insomnia right now. Despite the gains we've made in vaccinating our population, lowering nationwide mortality rates, and resuming some measure of normal life. In other words, what began over a year ago as a natural flight or fight response to a global state of emergency has now morphed into something shapeless and sinister. We've lost a sense of balance and rhythm. We can't get started. We can't wind down. We're anxious, sleepless, overstimulated, and bored. Not all of us all the time, but every one of us can confess that we were hooked into something and that our coming back to normal has also been a struggle. So I'm especially grateful for the gospel lesson this week and these words from Jesus from Mark chapter 6, verse 30. The apostles gathered around Jesus and told them what they had done and taught. He said to them, "Come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest for a while." For while many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. And they went away in the boat to a deserted place by themselves. Earlier in the Gospel of Mark, in Mark chapter 2, we get the same sense. Mark chapter 2, verse 35. In the morning, while it was still very dark, Jesus got up and went out to his deserted place, and there he prayed. I'm going to want to think with you in this Bible study this coming Thursday at noon, and also in our sermon on Sunday about the idea of rest, of Sabbath. Our texts from Mark have taken us through Jesus working at breakneck speed to heal, to be confronted by the Pharisees, to stilling storms, casting out demons, and last week we had the death of John the Baptist, and now Jesus just receiving that word and needing to pull back and rest. Where do you need Sabbath? As I am speaking, I can hear the bells, and maybe you can too, of St. Luke tolling out the noon hour. Maybe a winsome reminder of our whole community that we need those spaces where we can be rested, where we can encounter deeper things, even God. Wendell Berry wrote a wonderful little poem on Sabbath called Sabbath. And here's the last two stanzas. The mind that comes to rest is tended in ways that it cannot intend, is born, preserved, comprehended by what it cannot comprehend. Your Sabbath, Lord, thus keeps us by your will, not ours. And it is fit our only choice should be to die into that rest or out of it. What is your need for Sabbath? What are the things pushing in on you, or the languishing? What does that look like in your life? Where do you find deeper things? Where is Sabbath for you? Obviously, Sunday morning is Sabbath, a time set aside. How do we live from that during the week? Because one thing becomes very evident when you read the Gospels. For Jesus, to pray is to live.